afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening, and welcome from the UK. And I want to welcome you to the late one with myself, SYLBOURNE SHOW, and also Cross Atlantic, which is in the UK. Now, I have tonight a very interesting guest, and he's Mr. Marlon Hill. But before I go any further, let me give you a history. I think I met Marlon in 2004. This was at the initial Jamaica Diaspora conference, and we sat at the table. And and Marlon has been a part of the advisory board of the Diaspora. And if I can get the right information, Marlon is a Miami-based business attorney and partner with law firm of Hamilton, Miller, and Birthisel. He's a past president of the Caribbean Bar Association, trustee board member of the Miami Foundation, and former Jamaica Diaspora Advisory Board member of Southern United States. Is currently a candidate for the Miami-Dade County Commission District 9. Now, it's very interesting because there are 5 candidates who are vying for the Miami-Dade County Commission District 9 seat, which Mr. Dennis Moss will vacate after 27 years. Right. So Marlon has his eyes on that, and he's competing with 4 other persons. But without further ado, let me just bring in Marlon because and he can sort of give you the lowdown as to how this is going to unfold as a Jamaican takeover in the United States of America.
Marlon. I don't know about that. I don't know about that city. I don't know about that. Pleasant good evening to the late one, folks. This is your nightcap conversation from across the pond. Greetings and salutations to everyone.
Marlon, well, listen, I'm glad I was able to capture you in the middle, on the throes of election campaigning. I was saying to you earlier that even though the whole incidents are happening with Black Lives Matters, COVID, right in the midst of it, they did not cancel your election. It's still going on.
Still going on strong. I mean, COVID-19, despite being a hotspot, my election is on August 18th. I just came back from off the campaign trail. Still practicing social distancing. Got to wear a mask.
Yes.
Sanitize your hands. If I knock on a door, standing 15 feet away, talking to someone from their door or their window.
Yes.
So it's very interesting. It's but here in the United States and here in Miami-Dade County city, we have a choice to vote 3 ways. You can vote by mail.
Yes.
Where you get your ballot in the mail, you take your time, and then you send it back in the mail and they process it.
Yes.
We have something they call early voting, which 2 weeks before the actual election day, you can go to a location. And then the third option to vote is the actual precinct associated with your address, that you must go to that precinct on election day.
Yes, yes. So tell us about this this particular area, Miami-Dade.
Yeah. So for those people who have never been to Miami-Dade County, so Florida is the center of electoral drama in the United States. If you remember back in the year 2000, when President George W. Bush won that election by 534 votes.
Yes.
Al Gore, that was all based in Florida in regards to the hanging chads.
Yes.
So Miami-Dade County was the ground zero for hanging Chad Nation. So Miami-Dade County is the largest of 67 counties in Florida. It has a population of 2.8 million.
But also, wasn't there another thing as well regarding Miami again with some governor?
Yeah.
There's always something with Miami there, isn't it?
There's always some drama.
With Florida, what?
Yeah, always some drama, and we can get into that. But so Miami-Dade County is the largest county. It's the largest. Miami is the biggest brand, so it's the largest government. 2.8 million people, 1.4 million registered voters. So I'm running to be like the MP for Southwest Miami-Dade County. So if you look at Miami-Dade as a square, I'm in the southwest corner. That's District 9, where many Jamaicans moved to District 9 during the mid-1970s when Manly and Seaga were clashing, and Manly said, "You guys can take 5 flights to Miami."
Yes.
So they came to Miami.
So that's a sort of hub, like.
That's what one of the hubs.
Yes.
And then after Hurricane Andrew, Hurricane Andrew destroyed southwest Miami-Dade County. And many Jamaicans moved to Broward County, Miramar, Pembroke Pines. But there's still a large number of Jamaicans and even a large Chinese Jamaican community that is in southwest Miami-Dade County. So that's District 9, the district that I'm running for. It's like an MP setting policy, their budget, services that the government provides, police, fire rescue, solid waste, delivery of water, the usual services that you pay for when you pay your taxes.
So therefore, this is must have a massive budget then that one is actually.
The budget for Miami-Dade County is $9 billion. Jamaica has a budget of how much? $5 billion. So Miami-Dade County is almost twice the size of Jamaica's budget.
Right. So there's a high level of scrutiny then, which is going to go through now at this moment with the 5 candidates along the other 4 you're competing with.
Well, Commissioner Moss has served in this role city for 27 years. Wow. And the governing charter for Miami-Dade County was changed in 2012, mandating term limits where no commissioner can serve longer than 2 terms of 4 years. So the even number seats were staggered off in 2018. So the odd number seats are on the ballot now for 2020. So 2012, 2020, that's 8 years.
Right. So therefore, he's like a furniture then, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's not a full-time paid job, I still have to be a practicing lawyer.
Yes.
Longer than 2 terms of 4 years.
Yeah. So therefore, you've got to keep going. Now, it's interesting now, I mean, in light of the whole thing which is happening with the Black Lives Matters and everything like that, it is crucial. You're born Jamaican, I'm a son of the land. You love the sea, you love the land. Am I saying it right? Am I singing it right there? Because it's
son of the soil. Son of the soil.
I just got a call from one of the representatives who is involved with this. Jackie Knight Campbell. I just saw a phone call. She works with the media in Jamaica. Maybe we wanted to talk about this festival thing coming on tonight.
Yeah, man. People got to vote. I mean, it's a great opportunity for Jamaicans worldwide to be part of their culture and heritage. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
I think it's any opportunity that you can engage, whether you're voting for electoral or you're participating in Britain's next, Britain's Got Talent, America's Next, or The Voice.
Yes.
It's fun, but it's also a way to use your personal power.
Yes.
So and that I've always been an advocate for civic engagement, and I believe that my participation in this election, to make history as the first English-speaking Caribbean-born person to be on the county commission here,
yes,
it is going to be significant.
So therefore, there's a massive buzz which is going around this, and what I'm picking up again is that Jamaicans all over, and especially those who are residents and maybe not in the UK, in the USA, can actually contribute to your campaign.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where even if you are a U.S. citizen of Jamaican descent and you live in South London or you live in Birmingham, you're on assignment, but you're a U.S. citizen or even a permanent resident traveling, from wherever you are in the world, you can contribute to my campaign. The only thing you can't do is vote. You can even volunteer if you wanted to make calls to voters or you wanted to do some other activity that will help them to me. You can do that. Every campaign, whether you are running for MP or you're running for the council, needs money. Any business that you're running, a campaign is a business. So yard signs, advertising on radio, banner ads, hiring staff, all of these things take resources. And, I think I've done a reasonably good job of building a grassroots campaign. But, just last couple of weeks ago, I had a virtual fundraiser with friends who are U.S. citizens in Jamaica. And so they donated to the campaign because they are Jamaicans, U.S. citizens, but live in Jamaica.
I'm having a good smirk on my face. And the smirk on my face is that when I was standing for a council seat in the UK, I think around 3 times or so, I believe so much in civic responsibility and taking part. Some Jamaicans say, "Hey, SYLBOURNE, man, we can still run a show, we still can't vote for you, even though we're in Jamaica."
Boy, I tell you, Jamaicans always trying to find a way to trying to find a way to beat Babylon.
Yeah, but let us zero in into civic responsibility and political responsibility and Jamaicans actually getting involved in the political system in the UK. How is that looking? I mean, are Jamaicans really?
It's ramping up. It's ramping up. It's really ramping up. Right now, historically, we have the highest numbers of persons of Caribbean descent running for elected office in South Florida. South Florida includes Palm Beach, where President Trump lives, Broward County, and Miami-Dade County. Those are the three large counties in Florida that you need to watch when you're watching this presidential election coming up for the Electoral College.
Yes.
You got to watch the votes that are coming from those three counties, because that's the largest population compared to the statewide, right? Palm Beach has 900,000. Broward County has 1.1 million. And then Miami-Dade County, where I live, has 1.4 million registered voters. That's 33% of the total number of voters in Florida.
Yes.
So if there's a high turnout in those three counties, you can win Florida. And President Barack Obama, you remember when I was involved with the Obama campaign in 2008, Obama won Florida by less than 1% in 2008. And the same thing he did in 2012. And Trump won Florida by the same margin. So that's why Florida is a purple state. It's not blue or red. It's complicated.
But and that's very interesting. But particularly for this campaign and for this election, you are not actually running. Well,
not running based on party. No, it's non-partisan.
Not based on party, even though you got a party behind you. Yes.
Right.
Break that down for me.
Right.
Yes.
So being a county commissioner under the governance of Miami-Dade County is a non-partisan related seat. So you don't have to declare any party affiliation. That when you're on the ballot, you don't say Marlon Hill, parentheses, D, parentheses. You just say Marlon Hill. So even though Marlon Hill is a registered Democrat in his personal affiliation, in the official role, I will be serving persons who are voters who are Democrats, Republicans, or NPA, which is no party affiliation. So it's a non-partisan seat, which is important, right? Because if the seat was based on party affiliation, where only registered Democrats could vote for me, then registered Republicans and MPAs would be left out of picking me as their leader. Even though I am responsible over budget and policy that impacts them. So that's why it's a non-partisan seat. So I may have certain political values, but that does not mean I can't identify with a Republican neighbor who wants to ensure that her garbage is picked up on time, or the police arrives on time, or there is enough budgetary funds to support affordable housing or other issues that she may care about.
So this is threading a very one has got to have a certain level of characteristic or level of integrity to operate within this role now.
Absolutely. You have to be open to and transparent and not to be preferential in your delivery of connecting to residents, right? When I knock on a door, I have an app and I already know SYLBOURNE Showw, he is part of the Labour Party.
No, conservative.
He is 52 years
conservative.
He's part of the Labour Party. 52 years. Before I knock on his door, I already know this. Right?
Yeah.
I, in my app, I can actually see it.
So
SYLBOURNE. So I can have a conversation, but I can't presume or preempt him just because he's part of the Conservative Party. I can't say that he's only going to care about X, Y, or Z.
Yes.
I have to engage him in a very unassuming way.
And that is very true, because when I'm knocking on the doors sometimes over here, people are sometimes far removed from the national things. As you rightly say, their bins. Yeah, they're talking about their bins. They're talking about the humps on the road.
Yeah.
They're talking about the knife crime. They're talking about they're talking about things real at home to them.
Totally.
And that is what you're talking about, where you got to resonate with them, irrespective of their political preference. Yeah.
But here's the seriousness now. But some people at the door even after you explain that it's a non-partisan seat, they still want to know who are you affiliated with. Because that may be a factor for them as to judging the type of person that you may be. So it goes both ways, where you can't preempt them, and they shouldn't preempt me.
Yes.
Where you got to
Sorry, I don't know.
Exactly.
Keep talking, Marlon. Yes.
Yeah. So it goes both ways. So but when they ask me that question, I have to be honest about it, because it's public knowledge.
Of course.
In the state of Florida, we have something called the Sunshine Law. Anything related to government, any citizen can request a copy of it. Any documentation, voting information, any letters written to a county commissioner, any budgets, every citizen has access to it. So I can't say, oh, I'm a non-partisan, I'm an independent or no party affiliation, when I'm not. They can go on the line and go, oh, he said he was an MP, but he's really a Democrat.
So therefore, what you're talking about right there is the level of transparency. You just have to go complete still. You don't use that as a front. No. But at the same time, if the question is asked, you actually divulge and have that conversation as well.
Correct.
But then if you realize that the person is a Democrat, you feel at home, as it does say, hey, let's.
Yeah, well, there's a certain commonality in terms of the agenda or the things, the interests and the values. But even then, you can't predict, because that person may be center left or left of this. They may be. Are they really progressive, or are they libertarian? You just never know. Their religious background may impact their racial background may impact how they feel about certain issues. They may be a business person. They may care. Different people are more socially liberal but fiscally conservative.
Yes.
Right? Even though so it goes both ways, and Labour conservative in the same way in the UK, that happens as well.
Now, and that is very interesting. So tell me now, and this is it now about. I'm going to tap into, while you're being the commissioner aiming for that, there's been bigger things going on, and let's not touch on the COVID now. Let's look on the whole issue of race relations, because in Miami and Florida, I don't know exactly that district what the makeup is. I remember passing through Miami one time, and there was not any typical Americans I saw there, lots of Hispanics and so like that.
Yeah, well, Miami-Dade is like a Kingston 21. I mean, over 55% of the persons in Miami-Dade County. The county, you have to understand, Miami-Dade County, the county has over 31 cities.
Yes.
So the city of Miami is a city within Miami-Dade County.
Wow.
Miami Beach is a city within Miami-Dade County.
Wow.
I live in a community that is unincorporated, meaning that it's not a city, it's part of the county.
Yes.
So it's almost like living in South London, but you're not in the city of London.
Yes.
Right? So that creates a different level of government, and how the money is allocated to the services that are needed, because you may live in a city, and a city like Miami, they have their own police department. But I live in Miami-Dade County, where the Miami-Dade County Police Department is separate from the City of Miami Police.
Yes.
So when you travel to Miami as a visitor, you are coming to Miami, but you are really coming to Miami-Dade County, and you are traveling to Miami, which is just one of the many cities that are in Miami-Dade County. You may go to the beach in Miami Beach, South Beach, but you may also go to Aventura, which is another city where the mall, one of the big shopping malls is, right?
Yes.
And then you may travel 40 minutes away to where I live in the southwest section in the countryside, right? Of Miami, where I'm running for, it's like Miami's countryside.
Wow.
It's not in the urban area like the city of Miami. That is like center of London, right? I live on the outskirts of Miami, which is like half an hour, 40 minutes away, right? So it's huge, right? It's 2.8 million people, right? What's the population of London? 7 million?
No, it's bad of me. Somebody help me out here. I think it's about 7 million. I believe so. Yeah.
Right. So it's significant. So the population, the district where I live is 54% Hispanic, 28% Black, 8% Asian, and 11% white. What's interesting about my district is that 50%, the politics of it, the 50% of the Black community and the Asian community, 50% of that community is Caribbean, Guyana, Trinidad, Jamaica,
Yes.
Jamaicans, Haitians, and then the Caribbean, the Hispanic community is primarily Caribbean Hispanics and Central Americans.
Yes.
Mexican American, El Salvador American, Nicaraguan, Panamanian, Dominican Republic, Cuban.
Yes.
Right. You have to remember that Miami has a large number of Cubans.
Definitely. Yes.
Right. So that mix, they're all American, but they have different nationalities. So some speak Spanish. Because I went to school in Costa Rica. So I went to school so my ability to speak Spanish is helpful to me growing up in Miami, because you're able to at least understand and read when someone is communicating in Spanish.
So with the whole Black Lives Matters issue now, which is very prevalent now, and the whole talking about defunding of police, is that something which is resonating in that area? Because Miami has been very quiet.
No, man, Miami is not quiet at all.
Really?
Yeah, man, there are different levels of engagement on this issue across the country. This is a real tipping point in terms of this incident with George Floyd in Minneapolis city. I mean, it is a tsunamic impact across the country with regards to the relationship with law enforcement and how and you have to remember, Black Lives Matter is not just an issue as it relates to law enforcement.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter is an issue related to housing insecurity, job opportunities. Black Lives Matter relates to your tree.
You back?
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Is not just police-citizen relationships.
Yes.
It has to do with the status of Black people in any society across the world, including Jamaica.
Yes.
Where the majority of the population is Black, because the issues related coming out of the colonial history still impacts contemporary society, if we're honest about it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Whether you're looking at it from a liberal standpoint or a conservative standpoint, the status of Black people, there's still racial inequities in London right now, in New York right now, Atlanta and Miami-Dade County. Yes. And anyone who disputes that, then we can have another program to have a debate about that.
Yeah.
How do you rectify those inequities in terms of when you are pulled over by a law enforcement officer and you end up with a knee in your neck and you can't breathe and you die? Anyone who says that is just egregious and unacceptable, then they should be examined for having a lack of human dignity.
So tell me, Marlon, so on your policies and with because you would have some policies which is specific to yourself.
Yes, if you look at my website, website now, marlonhill.com, you will see a slide on my homepage that says law enforcement reform.
Yes.
Now, I'm calling for zero tolerance on police misconduct. I'm calling for higher professional standards in training for implicit bias.
Yes.
I'm calling for an independent review panel where we can examine any misconduct by law enforcement that has due process and fairness, so that the public can have more trust and accountability.
Yes.
I believe that's needed with regards to rebuilding the relationship between police and citizens, because it's broken. Right? Because when you have more Black men dying at the hands of law enforcement more than non-Black men, why is that? Why is that? Why are we ending up in more situations across the country where Black men are dying in incidences with their interaction with police? Not that there's not Black on Black crime, I'm not saying that, because that's a whole nother dynamic in terms of our sociology. But what I'm saying is the relationship between law enforcement and Black people, especially young Black men, more often than not, are dying because of lethal force. And that is
We lost you. We lost you briefly there. Well, keep talking. I think you're back now.
Phone call the
Okay.
phone call came in.
Okay.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Now, I hear that bit about the black issues there, but when one listens to things like happening in Chicago, even though that's not your area there, and you got the black and black violence, is that something which is being addressed to a certain?
It has to be addressed. It's not just a responsibility of the black community. We have to self-examine ourselves as well. We have a responsibility for public safety and security in our own families and homes and communities.
Mm.
And if we're not honest about that, then how we as a community are going to ask other people to help us with their public with the way in which justice and law enforcement is deployed.
Yes.
We have to look at our own communities as well. So, and we also have to look at the access to firearms and the types of firearms.
Yes.
The Second Amendment is enshrined in the Constitution, but the types of assault weapons that are available to people in the black market and otherwise is also troubling.
Yes.
As well. So
yeah. Please continue, Marlon. Yes.
Yeah. So this whole issue of young black men is the reason why I do so much work. One of the things that I've been over the years serving as a mentor to other young black people of color, especially those of Caribbean descent, is to help them to have a greater support system growing up in a society like America. If you don't have mentors or support system, you could easily get sidetracked into a different lane of lifestyle. So I've been working on those issues now for the last 20 plus years. The last 5 years we adopted a middle school, which is like from 7th grade to 9th grade, which is like 11-year-olds to 4th room, helping to teach kids about the legal profession. So we raised money and we started a law academy at an inner city school to expose them to the legal system so that they can learn about how to shape the system as opposed to being a part of the system.
So therefore what you're talking about is okay, is that a call coming in again? They keep trying to get all of you, Marlon. You slightly froze again. Let me see if you can come back. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
And that's about to challenges in society to impact. What do I mean by that? You can mentor one child. You can adopt a family. You can go out as a group and clean up the community on one weekend. You can start a nonprofit that's focused on an issue. You can connect with other people that don't look like you but share the same values. And pick an issue that you want to collaborate on, whether you are liberal or conservative. Everyone wants quality of life. Everyone wants to be safe. Everyone wants a job. There is no party affiliation to those things, in my opinion. There may be a different approach that the party has to that issue, but we can agree that having more young black people in jail is not something that everybody celebrates.
Yes.
Right? So if you are celebrating that, then we need to question whether or not your party affiliation cares about that. Right? So we have to be really honest about debating how to solve challenges in our communities. And I'm having that debate right now with my challengers, my opponents. We want to make the public transportation better. How do we accomplish that? Who's going to pay for it? Do we address things that are long-term and short-term?
Yes.
We want more affordable housing for our seniors. Who's going to pay for that? Is that something that the community cares about? Do we want less crime in certain neighborhoods, or do we want to continue driving by certain communities like we don't care? Those communities. We drive by them every day. We know that it's troublesome and problematic, but we don't go there because it's not my issue. Right? But we know that problems exist. I believe that we must get out of our own bubble I have a picture on my desk
Yes.
that says, it says, your comfort zone will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay in your little bubble and you think that everything is daisies and roses, but when a problem arises in your bubble, wouldn't you want other people to be compassionate and empathetic to come
Yeah.
and help you?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Right.
And,
So that's how I view civic engagement. I don't stay in my bubble. I'm a black man of Jamaican descent, but I don't just hang around black people and Jamaicans.
right.
Even though I care strongly and passionately about black people and Jamaicans, I live a very cross-cultural life because if I am in distress, I want to be able to call allies and friends that are non-black and non-Jamaican.
So therefore,
You,
you are a unifier of races then.
I live that way. Yes,
Yeah.
that is a core value of mine.
And I think that is very crucial. I totally agree with you because um, in this world and this dispensation where we're at now is like this is a big world. I see this world as so big. COVID has demonstrated something to us that no respect of persons. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, you go in there, you're the same person, even though
Equalizer.
even,
Equalizer.
even though at the same
It's an
time,
equalizer.
even though at the same time they're saying that, and I want to pick up on this one. I don't know if it's the same thing happening in America, but in the UK, they said there's a higher proportion of black people who are more prone to die from COVID.
And we should ask the question, why is that the case?
Yes.
Same thing here. Why do we have a higher percentage of black people in New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, Miami than non-black people when we are not the majority of the population?
I asked that question many times. And I asked the question again, why is Jamaicans not dying? Why is Caribbean countries not dying from COVID?
Well, you have a more controlled environment in terms of the borders. They closed
Yeah.
the borders, which I thought was brilliant. Barbados, Jamaica, St. Lucia, that did an extraordinary job at a tremendous cost. But the cost would have been way more
If
they didn't make those decisions.
Yeah.
And here in the state of Florida, we
Yeah.
reopened too soon, in my opinion.
Okay. Because
and there's no statewide mask mandate in Florida.
And it's going up. It should,
We have
isn't it?
we have a governor who is Republican and who's close friends with the president. So they may toe the line on a certain policies as to how they feel they should be responding to this pandemic. And right now we're catching our ass.
And so therefore the same mask factor does apply there, whereby everybody's wearing masks, and it's one of the big.
It is, but there's no statewide mandate.
Yeah.
For across the board for a population of 19 million people, 67 counties, people traveling to and from. How do you know who's bringing what? So that's why now New York has quarantine rules against people from Florida.
Wow.
The Bahamas just closed their borders to U.S. visitors. Not close their borders, but they have restrictions.
Yes, and I understand different countries are actually having quarantine issues against certain states in America.
Well, that's a problem too. How do you know that person is coming from that particular state?
Yeah. Do you think?
State.
Yeah. Do you think COVID is here to stay? And Michael Jackson has showed us the way many times where he wears masks.
No, man. There's going to be there's going to be a vaccine soon. I think that you guys are part of the vaccine chase from Oxford University. So I think there'll be a vaccine.
Russia is trying to hack in at the same time.
Yeah, well, so. But I think that for the third quarter and the fourth quarter, I think we're going to have to really have a lot of self-discipline in terms of our self-care, continuing to mask up, good hand hygiene, sanitizing surfaces, trying to stay away from crowds. All of those things are basic protocol rules across the world right now. And it's of tremendous cost, but you can't do anything if you're not breathing.
Yeah, you're very correct. I want to tell you a couple of things which I want to tap in before you go there. Before I go on to Jamaica, because I'm buzzing to touch on some issues with Jamaica there.
Right.
Yeah, actually, let me touch on this one. with your position there, in the event that you're successful, of which you will be, show me the link with Jamaica and how this benefit Jamaica to a certain extent. How you can create a link for Jamaica with this.
Absolutely. I mean, Jamaica is one of the top trading partners with Miami-Dade County in the
Right.
top 10. So I will be the county commissioner oversees the seaport,
Yes.
one of the largest seaports, the largest cruise ports in the world. It is the largest cruise port in the world. Being a county commissioner oversees the policy and the budget for the airport for cargo and movement of persons. Being a county commissioner oversees the relationship with the consular corps.
Yes.
Being a county commissioner oversees the international business relationship of contracts. You may have companies that are multinational Jamaican companies that have offices in Miami-Dade.
Yes.
They could be pursuing access to more opportunities in terms of their business relationship with Miami-Dade. Being a county commissioner gives people access for the Miami-Dade County government to be closer to them by virtue of having a relationship with me. I can now communicate with Jamaicans here and in Jamaica about what is happening in Miami-Dade so that they can make social and business decisions about being more engaged and integrated. Every immigrant community city goes through 3 phases, whether they are migrating to London or they're migrating to Miami-Dade. First, you got to get acclimated to where you're moving to. Second, you got to get assimilated, right? You got to get familiar with where you live. You got to figure out where's the barbershop, place of worship, who your neighbors are, how to use public transportation. That's getting acclimated.
Yes.
Assimilated now is where you're living, where you go to school, where you're going to work. Integrated is now you have citizenship. You are leading, you're serving on boards. You are attending public meetings. You are voting. You are buying property.
Yes.
You are partaking in strategic policy decisions as to what shapes South London.
Yes.
You're now fully immersed, and that happens over a generation. As Miami-Dade County Commissioner, I can fast track those 3 phases.
Right.
So if someone is moving from Kingston to Miami-Dade, they can quickly become integrated by a phone call to my office.
Right. So you're in a strategic position then. Very strategic position.
Very strategic.
In regards to Jamaica, and therefore you're actually having direct links or will be liaising with the government of Jamaica to make sure through the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Correct. For example, Miami-Dade County used to have like a sister city relationship with Kingston, where they had a sister city. The Sister Cities International had established a relationship between Miami-Dade and Kingston.
Yes.
And they had police officers came to Miami-Dade for training from Jamaica. We have donated fire rescue trucks to Jamaica. We have exchanged information on emergency management with the emergency management team in Jamaica by virtue of having a relationship. So as a Miami-Dade County Commissioner, one of my natural tendencies would be to reestablish that sister city relationship so that there can be more meaningful conversations between Kingston and Miami-Dade.
So what I'm seeing then, because until you started to run for this office, the last time I heard about District 9 was a movie from South Africa. And if anybody in District 9, there's a movie there. I remember watching a movie a time ago.
And listen, man, I'm in the business of writing my own movie right now. I don't know if I want to take on the drama of District 9, but I'll take the inference.
Yeah,
because we have our dynamics here and our stories to tell as well. Here it may not be as cinematic.
Yes,
but District 9, my hashtag is Marlon for D9. I'm trying to get people to understand. Many people live here, but don't know that they're even in District 9. That's why I'm in my logo. You see Marlon Hill and you see the 9 because I'm trying to connect Marlon Hill, who is aspiring to lead District 9.
Yes. When I was speaking to my person who was doing the flyer as well, I said, no, I need that D9 to come in.
Right.
Not the face, I want that D9 because I saw there's something about that D9. Why it is there?
Right. It's very important for people to. I want the district to take ownership of the community that they live in, right? It's almost like creating a family, an identity, right? D9 family, D9, because most of District 9 is unincorporated. So there are only 3 cities, but those 3 cities in District 9 only account for 15% of the geographic size.
Yes, sir.
Of the district. So the rest of the district is unincorporated Miami-Dade, which is part of the county. So being part of District 9 is important for me, for the community. I believe a lot in having a seat around the table.
Yes.
When it comes to civic engagement, there is no citizen in South London that should be extrapolated from having a say in what happens in South London.
Yes.
Irrespective of the party affiliation that you may have or the disagreement you may have on an issue, you should be able to freely express your ideas and to be part of politics. Will play itself out, but you should have a seat around the table to gain your fair share of the taxes that you put into the treasury.
And that is so very crucial. And what you're talking about now is very important now, that people understand this particular office, and we should be actually getting people to get involved and putting themselves forward in these particular offices in strategic places across the UK, in the USA.
Absolutely. And if the folks who live in District 9, D9, can vote for me, but let me be very clear.
Yes,
I'm going to be making decisions for the entire county. Right? I'll be part of no policy or budget can pass without a majority vote of the other commissioners.
Right.
So even though I represent District 9, I can't make things happen by myself.
Right.
I politically have to have a relationship with the other 13, 12 commissioners in order to politically fight over or debate over or find consensus on how the seaport is going to operate, how the solid waste department is going to operate, whether or not the police should be demilitarized or not.
Yes.
Or whether or not they should go through implicit bias training to de-escalate situations before lethal force ends up in somebody dying.
Yeah.
I can't do that by myself. I have to get 6 other commissioners to vote with me to approve that policy. You follow?
Yeah. There are 3 mysteries that I have. 3 mysteries. One, why people wear masks while they're driving the car and they're alone in the car. That's one. The second one, I'm coming. The second one is, why do people, what they say? Why do the police want to shoot to kill? That's
why do they shoot to kill?
Why do they want to shoot to kill? Sometimes when somebody's running away, I can't fathom that sometimes when I watch these little videos.
What's the third mystery?
And the third one is, it just went by me. That's why it's become a mystery now. Because no. The third one was the toilet paper. Why were people buying up all these toilet papers?
The first mystery is that people forget that they're in the car.
Okay.
And they maybe keep it on so that they don't have to put it on again when they're going somewhere else.
Yes.
The second mystery has to do with why they're not shooting someone in their ankle or their kneecap or something. I don't know, because they have bad aim, or I don't know. I don't know why. That second mystery. And the third mystery was what? What's the third one?
The third one was why toilet papers. Why were people buying up a lot of toilet papers and fighting for that? People are trying to crack those mysteries still from the COVID bit.
Boy, yeah.
Don't feel bad if you don't.
I think you got to ask the Conservative Party about that.
Okay, I'll ask Boris. But listen, before you go,
call up Boris, man. Call up Boris.
Yeah. Before you go, one of the things I want to know now. Tell us now, how can people really now? I'm running your details across so people can see all your details.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. So let's first and foremost, for my family that's living across the pond and are going to follow my journey, go to marlonhill.com and follow me on social media. It's going to be a very exciting 25 days in my election to August 18th. Yes. If you want to just follow the journey, the story. If you have family members that live in Florida, or more importantly, live in Miami, you need to pick up the phone and call them and give them my cell number and tell them to call me. Yes. Because they may not be able to vote for me, but they can donate to the campaign and they can volunteer to the campaign, right? Every campaign needs three things to be successful: money, volunteers, and votes.
Yes.
Those are the three things. Any campaign anywhere in the world, I don't care what anyone tells me, whether it's for JLP, PMP, or for Labor or Conservative, or for Democrat, Republican, you need resources, you need volunteers given their time, and you need people to go to vote one more than the next guy. Right? So in order for me to win, I need to get 50.001 of the vote.
Yes.
If I don't get 50.001 and I'm Usain Bolt across the tape, then I need to be in the top 2. Then I'll be in the runoff on November the 3rd in the presidential election.
Yes.
So that's the politics of it. So whether 10,000 people show up to vote or whether 50,000 people, I need to get 50% of the vote. And that's why I was out today knocking on doors and speaking to voters, because I know which voters have voted more frequently than others. I can't knock on every door, but I can knock on those doors that are more trustworthy voters to get them out to vote by mail, vote early, or vote on the day off. So if any other friends who are, listeners to this program, viewers of this program, and if you have family or friends that live in the US or live in Florida, give them my cell and my email. Tell them to call me up and say, Marlon, how can I help?
Yeah.
I like what I'm hearing from you. I want to support you. Tell me what you need, right? I want to see you succeed because I'm Black, or I'm Jamaican descent, or I'm Caribbean descent, or I just like you. I'm not any of those things, but you are the type of person that's in sync with the things that I care about.
Yeah.
I want to see you succeed. So give me a call and I will find a way for you to help.
And I put up your number, 305-244-4456.
That's it.
That's his
You
cell
can
number.
text me, WhatsApp, DM, Instagram, Twitter message, Facebook, LinkedIn. Where else? Where else you can find me?
Snapchat.
Yeah, Mochabook.
Really? You're crazy that one, Mochabook.
Yeah, Mochabook. You can find me there.
Well, listen, Marlon, that was really fun, and in regards to the diaspora, you see, this is interesting thing. I just mentioned the diaspora, but this is the diaspora in action at the same time.
This is in real motion right now. I came here when I was 14. I am still Jamaican blood, but I'm a U.S. citizen. I still engage with Jamaica. I still engage with Jamaicans here. I still engage with Jamaicans in Canada and the UK.
Yes.
We are so fortunate to have a country that provides a platform for us to be able to be connected in this way, in terms of our culture and our heritage and nationality. Not many countries have this pleasure to be able to do this. And there are so many opportunities for us to take advantage of. I am convinced that there's going to be somebody listening to this program right now at almost 11 p.m. London time who's going to say, you know what? I have a cousin who's in Miami-Dade, or I have a friend who is doing business in Florida who needs to meet Marlon Hill. Let me link him up and make something happen. I promise you, I'll report back to you, and I'm convinced that it will happen because of the spirit of the diaspora and where we are today.
And supporting each other. And likewise myself, I've got some cousins and friends, because lots of Jamaicans is in Miami, and they fly to Jamaica like every other day. Sometimes they say they're in Jamaica. I said, boy, you guys just fly. For us in the UK, we have to spend like years to plan to go to Jamaica.
Here's the point.
Yes.
Wherever a Jamaican is succeeding overseas, whether it's in Japan or Shanghai or Dubai or London, Paris, Toronto, New York, or Miami, it is good for Jamaica.
Yes.
Wherever a Jamaican is in distress or suffering in any of those places, it's bad for Jamaica.
Yes.
We cannot afford for any Jamaican family or person to be under any stress or distress, because it's just not good, period. Right? We must be able to provide a support system for them to acclimate, assimilate, and integrate in a way
Yes.
where they're only prospering. That is going to be good for Jamaica and the local Jamaican community in South London, Birmingham, Chelsea, wherever.
And as you know, I think they're trying to call you now because you're supposed to go to a meeting. I see they're about to call you now. Marlon, you are in South London, South Miami, and I'm in South London. Uh, we may get Marlon back, we may not get him back, but actually we got the full essence of the show. We got the full essence of what he was saying. We got the full essence of his policies. We got the full essence of the dynamism of what District 9 is about. As I said, I never knew what District 9, but at the same time, I'm not in the States. But lots of Americans now and lots of Jamaicans in the diaspora will now understand what District 9 is, and Marlon running to be a commissioner. And if I can just recap whether Marlon comes back or not, I just recap that the candidates for District 9, August 18th is election, and he's running against 4 other persons. I won't name them, but Marlon Hill is one of them. And also the 5 candidates for the District 9 seat, which Dennis Moss will vacate after 27 years due to newly imposed term limit. Marlon is, again, as I complete, Miami-based business attorney, partner with law firm of Hamilton, Miller and Birthisel, past president in the Caribbean Bar Association, trustee board member of the Miami Foundation, and former Jamaican Diaspora advisory board member of the United States Southern Chapter. Currently a candidate for the Miami-Dade. You can follow him at Marlon A. Hill on Twitter, Facebook, Marlon Hill, IG, and of course you can see the numbers running alongside there. And his telephone number, he said, call him. You can contribute in many ways, and you can be a part of his campaign. And this is Jamaicans working together strategically, position ourselves in different areas whereby we can effect change. This is something which I've been talking about, and in my show on Wednesday, whereby we are ensure that we do us, ensure at the same time that we are able to be at the table and creating decisions that affect not just our lives, but everybody's lives as well. Yep, Black Excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to subscribe to the SYLBOURNE Show on YouTube, subscribe to it on Instagram, subscribe on Facebook, SYLBOURNE TV as well, and follow the shows as it come on. And I think Marlon is here. He's back. I'm going to let him come in and say the final word. I was speaking on your behalf there, and I said, I'll let you finish off, Marlon.
Thank you so much. My poll went out here. Let me see if I.
Yeah, that's good. I can hear you. Okay.
Late one viewers.
I think if you take it out. I think I hear better without it because go on. Yeah.
Thank you, late one listeners. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of this late night nightcap.
Yes.
As you eat your crumpets and your tea before you go to bed. I appreciate you hearing about. There you go, man. There you go. You can miss. But I appreciate everyone being interested in my story, and just go to marlonhill.com. You'll be able to, you can Google and follow my story to see how successful I would be. I'm running against 4 other people in the race. It's real strategy and dynamics with regards to getting out the vote and connecting to folks. And I'm on the cusp of making history as the first English-speaking Caribbean-born, Jamaican-born person on the county commission here. And I think diversity is important in politics. Not just by race, but also by nationality and heritage and language and life experience. And I just want to encourage everyone who's listening that, whether you are, Labour or Conservative or you're even non-affiliated, it is important for you to question your government. It's important for you to support your government if in fact they're doing something good, or if they're not doing something good, for you to speak up, for you to communicate, write emails, show up to meetings. And this is especially important for families that are of immigrant descent. This is part of our integration. This is part of being a part of society, and it's really time for us. You have a longer generations city in
in the UK as opposed to the US. You're way more integrated now in that society as opposed to the United States. So you really don't have any excuses.
Yes.
You may have Jamaican blood, but you are UK citizens, and it's important that you do not be spectators when it comes to politics. You should not be afraid of politics.
Yes.
Politics should be afraid of you.
Mm.
Let me repeat that. You should not be afraid of politics. Politics should be afraid of you, not in a negative sense,
Yes.
but in a civic engagement sense, right? Because politics is going to happen whether or not you want to watch it drive by your home like a parade, or you are going to be in the parade, right?
Yes.
You must engage, and don't be shy about speaking letting your voice be heard.
Good. Marlon Hill, thank you so much for sharing your time with us, and we follow your success, and we try to link in on the night whereby we can get the first interview from overseas.
Yeah, man. Well, so 7 p.m. August 18th, the polls will start to show results. So that will be midnight on August 19th at the UK time. So I can maybe report back. We'll figure out a time to show you what is happening. Yeah.
Yes. And of course, we'll let people know as well. And, we'll share the replay of this video. It's on YouTube as well, and let people know as well. And who knows, maybe cut some key bits of it whereby it can be in, especially where you say how people can reach you and all those sort of things, make it bite size as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So cheers, everybody. Thank you for having me on your nightcap, and
look
forward to seeing you later on next month.
I think the last time I saw it was in Jamaica. Yeah, we got to try and link up back in Jamaica after this COVID foolishness is sorted out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We would definitely have to have a vacation to, and Jamaica just is doing such a great job on weathering this pandemic. And I just, even this whole festival song voting, we are under stress, but we're not distressed.
Yeah, under stress but not distressed. I like that. You pick it out of my mouth. I was listening to you right there, and I'm going to link up back with Jackie Knight Campbell. We're trying to call me a couple of times about this thing, because she's in part with the ministry of with Babs.
I love it, man. I love it, and it's just using the power of our music phenomenon.
Yes,
it's just phenomenal.
And let's hope we can find and get Beanie Man with his big belly at some point. I'm going to try to get him.
Leave the man alone, man. Leave the man alone, man.
All right, Marlon, listen, all the best. My regards to your wife, family, okay?
Okay, brother.
And take care. All success to you, sir. Thank you very much, Marlon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining, and thanks Marlon Hill again for being a guest and to really share some of his wisdom and excitement and the passion and the vigor for this election. And he said, make sure you engage in politics. Don't be afraid of politics. Let politics be afraid of you, if anything. Get involved there. And through the stress, don't be distressed. Don't let those words land. And make sure you follow his campaign. As I said before, the details is running along. Telephone number 305-244-4456. And you can see all his details. I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. Have a good night and all the best. And as Marlon says, I am Marlon Hill. And I'm going to say, I am SYLBOURNE.